Peace, peace, family. Um, okay, so some of y'all, some of us, but this is a tricky energy. And I feel like, okay, so we got the King of Swords in reverse, the Nine of Cups in reverse, and the Nine of Pentacles upright. Okay, so I feel like there is I feel like this is like a meeting. I'm hearing a meeting of the minds. I feel like this is some type of meeting and or conversation, or it's definitely a conversation, but I'm feeling like maybe the severity of it could vary depending on your situation. But with this King of Swords in reverse, right, and the Nine of Cups in reverse, I low-key feel like there is potential for things to kind of like be overwhelming. Because I was seeing like an overflow or like a bubbling up and then like this like explosive type of energy. But I feel like what Spirit is bringing my attention to with this King of Swords in reverse is, although you may have a lot to say about this situation, I feel like your best bet, you may have a lot to say about the situation or in this conversation. Um, but I feel like somebody, okay, somebody wants to kind of get you out of character. That's what I'm picking up on. Somebody wants you to confirm this picture that they've painted about you. Okay, and I feel like your best bet is to say less. I feel like that's just let them say what it is that they need to say. And I say that because with this Nine of Cups, I feel like they may try to paint you like all of those colors. I feel like are your emotions, and I feel like they may try to paint you like you're all over the place, like you're emotional, like you might not be the best fit for the job. I'm hearing the best fit for this role. I feel like somebody, because y'all could be going, especially with this king, with these two kings like this. I feel like there is some type of authority figure involved, whether this is like a judge, a boss, an executive, or whatever it is. I feel like someone is trying to paint you in a bad light to a perceived authority figure, right? Um, I feel like they may try to paint you all of these colors in this particular reading. I feel like they may try to paint you as childish, like I said, like just emotional, unstable, just all of these things. I could go on and on, on and on. So I feel like your best bet is to let them speak, let them say what it is they need to say. With this Nine of Cups, this is you and the King of Swords. I feel like this is how you stay grounded, keeping your emotions as tamed as you can. And I feel like the best way to do that is by speaking less. Because trying to speak while you're in this state, I feel like may kind of prove their point. And we're not trying to do that, right? So with this dragonfly that's by his ear, I feel like going into okay, this message is kind of all over the place, but whatever, just rock with me, right? Let me cook. So I feel like with this dragonfly by his ear, I feel like Spirit wants you to listen to what's being said, right? Take note of what's being said. That's okay. Because I just bought a journal yesterday that literally said take note of what's being said. But I feel like not being defensive with this sword down. I feel like this is a state of not being defensive. Because being defensive could cause you to, like I said, come off emotional or whatever the fuck. So I also feel like this. I feel like this like a judge type of energy, or like I said, like a boss who's just like unbiased and kind of listening to both sides of the story. So, um, and then like I said, the last card to come out was the Nine of Pentacles, which I feel like it's. I feel like you have the chance and the opportunity to come out on top if you. I'm hearing proper preparation. And when you feel unprepared, because you can't prepare for any type of situation, then this is where you, like I said, you listen. What they say, you got two ears to listen and one mouth. And one mouth. You should be listening more than you should be speaking. And I feel like eventually what that does is the picture that they're painting you like this, eventually everyone sees that this is the real you. More poised, elegant, composed, mature. For some reason, I feel like her hair being cut off in here, I don't know why that gave me maturity in this reading. All of her colors are kind of in order, meaning her emotions. Even the way that she's dressed, I feel like it's just that's I don't know. So what's interesting about this is when I clarified, it kind of clarified backwards. And what I mean by that is like, okay, this is kind of how I'm saying, like the cards came out here, but when I clarified, it came out here like this. It wasn't like clarify. I mean, it wasn't like cards and then clarify. It was like cards and then clarify. Hopefully that makes sense. But that means something to me as a channeler, because I feel like this build up, right? Because I feel like their main goal, like I said, is to get you out of character. But once you come off more composed or whatever, then once they're done speaking, that's the only hand that they have to play. That's what Spirit is telling me right now. They're banking on you getting out of character. And once they have played that hand, because that's the only hand that they have to play, then that's when the King of Pentacles came out to clarify, right? The King of Pentacles, the Lovers in reverse, and the Queen of Cups. So I felt like this crescendo, and I don't know if this is the right word, but this like this descension, like an ascension and then a descension. It's like this buildup of energy and then this of energy, right? So I feel like with this that's you kind of like not diluting the situation, but essentially. So I seen it like kind of. And I'm sorry, this really is all over the place, but I'm trying to get the message. Maybe I should sit for a second. Okay, so like I said, after they try and play this hand, you don't feed into it, and then you come with factual evidence. Some of you may have been keeping note of certain things or writings or recordings or something like that, but I feel like you have proof that the reason you essentially have proof that they are the problem. Okay, and I feel like with this king, I keep getting judge energy, but I feel like this is the judge making a decision and realizing that essentially you are not the problem, but you kind of have to set the foundation of being emotionally mature, emotionally grounded. Like I said, if this is a boss, showing them like if you're having an issue with a coworker, like look, they have been harassing me, or this is why I'm the better fit for the job, or whatever this is. But I feel like with the Queen of Cups being the last clarifying card, like I feel like you come out on top. You come out on top. You just gotta play your hand right. You just gotta ground. You gotta stay grounded. You gotta stay grounded. And this is like a cheers. Okay, so I just ultimately feel like once you let them play their hand, let them go first, let them whatever, and then I feel like once you present your evidence or whatever, I feel like because you got the Two of Wands at the bottom of the deck, I feel like whoever is in the position of making this decision, I was gonna pull up the King of Swords. So whoever's in the position of making this decision will no longer it will no longer be any question or doubt about who was right and who was wrong. I feel like even the amount of time it took for me to get this message out and to get my words together plays and ties into the energy, right? Don't be me, collective, okay? Don't be like me in this particular instance. So it's a tricky situation, but I feel like the most important thing for you is to stay grounded. Stay grounded. Do not be reactionary, because they are going to try and play your character. I don't know what this energy is, but I feel like they don't have a strong case because that's all they have. They're banking on you fucking up for you. But this is you. This can be you. You can come out in this energy. I see it just kind of like a head nod, like a thank you, judge. Thank you for hearing me out. This is like someone who won the case, but like it's not gloating. It's just like I just see them packing up their stuff politely. Like, okay, they're not like, bitch, I told you, or none of that. None of that, okay? When they try to assassinate your character, let that shit roll off. Let that shit roll off. Let how you respond speak for itself. And that'll speak to those who it matters. Okay? Hopefully this wasn't too choppy for you to understand, but if it's for you, it's for you.